Welcome to another Fix-It-Yourself video. Okay, so we've completed more or less the installation of an IKEA kitchen, and now we're going to be putting in the handles for all the drawers. So to do this, it can become quite tedious if you have to measure the exact hole locations for each handle and you want to get it precise. So what I did was I prepared a jig using just a piece of MDF, an old piece of MDF, 5/8 inch MDF board, a little piece of wood for a side backing and a top backing. So basically what I did then, if you want to see here, we'll get prepared for this bottom drawer, is I would put this piece right on the front here like this, and then the two holes that line up here would be for exact locating the handles for the drawers. So when I started to do this, the first one, I measured the distance between the handles and took the center, and then I marked the center from here on the drawer and worked at the exact location, and then I also put it in the center of the door face. So I then transferred those dimensions onto my jig, but the only difference you'll see here is there's actually 4 holes. So the 2 lower holes, that's for locating the upper drawer. So the upper drawer face, you can see, is a little bit wider. So that's just 4 3/4, a little bit more than 4 3/4. And then for the lower drawers, which are larger, they have a shaker style door face. So what I wanted to do was line this up so that it's in the center of this part of the shaker style. So that's a little bit smaller, and you can see the dimension here. So to get those exactly in the center, what I ended up doing was I ended up with a set of holes here, which is for the lower drawers because it's a bit smaller so that it doesn't go as far, and then for the upper drawers, has a larger door face. To get the center, it would be in these 2 locations. So I've already done the top one and one of the lower ones, and now I'll show you how we're going to go ahead and set this up. And what I do is, once it's on, then I just attach it with a quick grip, and then we can drill through and attach the handle. So I'll set that up now and we'll get that going. We're ready to install our drawer. What I've done here is I've mounted this on, and we have to be careful that we make sure that we use the 2 upper, because as I said, the shaker style door has a little bit shorter distance here than the upper drawer. So when we do the upper drawer, I use those 2 holes. When we do the lower drawers that have the shaker, I use those 2. So I've mounted this on, we're going to use that, and here are the handles. I've already removed and prepared them so we can install them. I've got my drill here with a drill bit that's just a little bit slightly oversized on the screw for the handles. And I've also mounted here with some electrical tape just a little bit of a level so that I can try to be sure that I'm getting my hole straight. And then I can also go left to right using this. So I'll show you how I'm doing that. So basically I set this up here, and I'll try to make sure I'm going straight, not left to right this way. And also I look at that and I make sure that I'm pretty level. So by doing that, I should be getting a pretty good hole. And once I've got that hole going pretty good, I also want to make sure that at the back I use like a little piece of 2x4 blocking, and that's just to make sure that when the drill goes through, it doesn't break the surface too badly. So I put the blocking on there, just be careful with my hand, and then I try to make sure again that I'm going level and not too much left to right. So there you see I've gone into my backing. So that's the first one there, and then I'll get the second one. Through. So that's now the second one gone through. We can remove our jig. Once the jig is removed, see we have our holes, and then I can set up my handles, and with a screwdriver I can try to get that first handle on. So if this works good, we should have them pretty much all lined up. I'm not going to put them too tight right now. If we have these lined up here, we should have pretty level there, and I'm pretty good there. And I'm plumb there. And I'm level here. Level there. I'm level there pretty much. I might have to go up a bit or down a bit. Yeah, I think this side has to come down and that side has to go up. So I can loosen that a little bit and get them more or less straight. So that's pretty close. So by doing this, you can save yourself a lot of time, not having to actually measure them all up. I just put them on. Now, this being a 24-inch door, it's the only ones that I have that are 24-inch. So I set this up with the with this little blocking on the side, so that the dimension is exactly right where I need it. When I do the smaller drawers, the 18-inch drawers, I'm going to have to take this blocking and move it over so that the spacing that I get here is precisely what I want to make sure that the holes end up where I need to be. So that's it. That's the process that I'm going to go through to make sure that I get all of mine exactly the same. And the next thing we'll do is we'll get them for the doors as well. So the doors are going to need a similar jig like that, and I'll show you how we set that up once I get all these done. So now we're preparing the jig for an 18-inch wide drawer. We've already completed all the 24-inch drawer, and that's when we had used the blocking here on the side of the jig. So now to do the 18-inch drawer, we have to inset the side blocking a little bit. And to determine that, what I did was I looked at the center line. This is the center line between the holes of the handle. There you can see the holes lining up there. So that's the center line of the holes. So I took that center line, and I want that center line to be on the center line of my door. So when I measure this, I have basically 18-inch drawer. So it's a little bit shy of 18-inch. So I'm like 8 and 15/16. So what I've done here is I've measured 8 and 15/16 from the center line to the side of my blocking, or 227 millimeters roughly, because I've got 454 roughly, so that gives me 227. So I put that on the 227 millimeters, or 8 and 15/16, and I set the blocking there, and then I used a drill just to make sure that it goes gently without moving it too much. So I've already done that one. I've drilled it and placed the screw in it so it doesn't move, and I'll drill and put a screw in this one, and this way this one doesn't move. Now we'll double check just to make sure that we're good. And that's still 227 millimeters, or 8 and 15/16, more or less, pretty close. So when we put this guy now on here, we should see those two center lines lining up pretty darn close. So once we've got that, we can set that up, put our jig on. If I want, I could find another one of these brackets, and I think I will. So I've got another quick clamp here, and I'm going to put this on this side just to make sure. So I've got this on. Now again, remember, this is a top drawer, so what I want to make sure I'm doing is I'm going to use the two holes that I've got a little bit lower down marked for upper drawer, which would let it go center in between the upper drawer there. Okay, so again, I'll start with this, put my blocking in, and my blocking here. And again, I'll show you what I did before, which is I like to line this guy up so I know I'm going straight. These are lower drawers. We want to make sure we're going upper drawers. So it's that hole right there. So again, I want to make sure I'm not going left to right. So I'm going to use that like that. And then up and down, I want to make sure I'm using the level on that I've set up on my drill. So there, I'm going to just start drilling on that guy. And again, on the lower hole for the upper drawer. And make sure I'm level, good side to side. And I should have a pretty good hole. So now that we've drilled our holes, we can put the first handle on. We'll take a look at that. Get the handle lined up here. So that should give us the first drawer, and hopefully that's lined up. So I've put a level on this now, and I'd say like we're pretty darn close. I mean, it might have to go up a half a millimeter here, but again, that could be the difference between these two drawers, which may not be entirely perfectly lined up. And they are in this case, you know, close enough. I mean, you're not going to see that by the eye. So there you go. We've done the 24-inch drawers. We've set up the first one. Now I've set up my jig for a 18-inch wide, and all I got to do now is just go down to the next drawer here, and when I set this guy up on here, I'll set it up on the inner, put this guy on here, put this other quick clamp on the other side, and the only thing we need to be actually very careful of again is on this lower drawers, we're going to use the upper holes, which is marked, I marked it lower drawers. So this way we don't make a mistake. So now I'm going to take this guy, lower drawers, I'm going to line that up, take my blocking, and just drill right through. Go over to the other side. Now we've done the next drawer. See how quick that is? No need to measure. And you're good to go. Now we'll just screws inside. And these up. And put the first one on here. Okay, so there you have it. We've got our second handle on, and we can, I like to just kind of double check that we're bang on plumb here, and we're bang on plumb there, and again we're level here, fairly close to level. So now let's do that last drawer, just to show how quickly this can go here. A quick grip on, put a quick grip on. Get our drill, make sure we use lower drawers, line that up, get my blocking, check my level, other side, check my level. Okay, remove our quick clamps, get our hardware, Here, and just like that, you've got another drawer. Again, I can check the level on these, and that's pretty darn close. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Check, they're all lined up perfectly in the plumb. They're all lined up perfectly in their plumb. So this is a handy way to do it. Let's move on and do the next drawers here. Set this up. Now, the bottom drawer here, this is actually a pull-out. This pull-out is for a garbage. So I'm going to have, at the back here, I'm going to have a recycle. And in the front, on either side, I'm going to have a smaller bins. So essentially here, we're just going to want the one handle here. And I'll set that up now. Set the jig up. It's great. So there you have it. We're all done. I can check again my level across, and it's bang on. Check my level across, bang on. Check my plumb here, and it's a little tiny bit off, but that's probably because of the drawers. You see the drawers does move a bit, so it's bang on. So there you have it. We're done. We've completed now all of these drawer handles. And using this jig, this makes the job really, really easy and much quicker, and no need for messing around and checking the dimensions on each one and hoping that you're going to drill it straight. So I hope you found this to be quite helpful. Once you've set up a jig, you'll find that it is very helpful. And if you do find this video and instructions helpful, then give it a thumbs up please, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.